everyone. So in this video we're gonna cover how we can integrate Salesforce with WhatsApp using Twilio. So let's get started. First, we have to go to the Twilio website obviously. So we're gonna type down Twilio WhatsApp API documentation. So the first one is overview of WhatsApp business. The link is this /doc/WhatsApp/API. This is the one which we'll use for reference of the code. But first, what we have to do, we have to sign up using our Gmail. So I'm gonna sign up here with this particular Gmail. So Twilio and start for free. Okay, so provide information, set a password. Hmm, This should work now. I've typed down. I'm in console.twilio.com as well as I must have received a verification code on my Gmail, right? So it asks for code. So here's the email. I've just got it. It's code, put it here and verify. Okay, so email address has been verified. So this was the first step. This was the first step. Okay, so trail account has been created. Now, if it asked you about adding a phone number and verify it using a verification code, that's good. You have to do that. Since we are using a trial version, so we can only test if Twilio is sending messages on our verified numbers. Okay, so it's a requirement. It says over here, see, you are in your trial account and can only send message to make a call on verified phone numbers. So for verified phone numbers, click on it and it's gonna redirect you to the phone numbers page. So if you already had one verified number, then it's gonna show up over here. Otherwise, you can add your personal number over here for testing purpose. So Twilio can send WhatsApp messages to that particular number. So I already have verified my phone number, okay, my personal phone number where I am expecting to receive message from Twilio for testing purpose. Now, in here, you have two things, okay, your account SID as well as auth token. So you can copy both of them. These are going to be utilized in our Apex class. So, so the Twilio part is done. Now let's go to the Apex part. Okay. So in Salesforce, let's quickly create a simple LWC first, and then we'll create a class that will actually do the purpose. So create an LWC, send WhatsApp message. Just an example. Okay, allow it on home page, make it true, so it's exposed. Then LWC target only on home page, right? I'm going to use it on home page. First step. Second step, have let's say LWC card. I don't want a lot of things. Card title, send message. I don't want any actions. No footer and then body. Yeah. So inside body, I want input, and we'll say enter message, and then we'll have a button. It's going to be brand, and it's gonna say send message. It will call a function in JavaScript. It's simple, basic. So we are not focusing on here. Our main focus is Apex class, how to do that. For now, we can directly get it from this .template.query selector, and we can select lightning input simply. Reason is we only have one in our whole HTML. That's why it's simple. But there are a lot of ways to get value of an input, right? So I'm not using handle change or all that. So I can simply say value. So it will return me the value. Now I have to call an Apex class which will actually send message. So let's create an Apex class. Create Apex class. Name would be Twilio WhatsApp. We create an aura enabled method, obviously because I have to use it in LWC. That's why aura enabled. It's going to be static. So what we have to do, we have to call an Twilio API, right? We have to call Twilio API and utilize these things. So how am I gonna utilize the Twilio API? So let's say Twilio WhatsApp API. Okay, send receive message. This one, overview of the WhatsApp business platform. So it's gonna give us an idea what it's expecting from our side. So as you can see, it is expecting this URL endpoint and URL encoded format body, right? And it's so simple. And the authorization header would be a basic one, which will have account ID as well as auth token. So let's do that. First, let's create HTTP. Then we have HTTP request. Then we have HTTP response. Please don't focus on the best practices of Apex because that's not the focus of this particular video. Our main focus is how to quickly send message through Apex. Okay, so I have run trying. It should be HTTP request and it should be response. Now the request should contain set endpoint, right? What's the endpoint? We just saw. We can copy it from here. Okay, copy and paste. Now here, this should be dynamic or the account ID which we have. So it should be our Twilio accounts SID, this one. So I can copy and paste it over here. So let's save these things in different properties. For example, string account ID equals to this one. And then my auth ID is auth token, you can say, is this one. And so for now, let's use these. So this is account ID, right? Account ID. So our endpoint is that. Next is set method. So what is the method over here in the documentation? It says it's a post request. See, so post. Next request dot set header. So for the header, our we already have auth token. Okay, so the header should be authorization, and the value would be now the value would be URL encoded value, right? So how we're gonna do that? So for authorization, we have to do some stuff. First, we have to create blob. Okay, let's give it an MP, and we have to create a new blob utilizing our account ID and auth token. So how we're gonna do that? We're gonna say blob dot value of. So we are converting string to blob. Okay, so we are converting account ID and then colon and then auth token. So this whole string account ID colon auth token will be converted into a blob. Now we have to encode this blob in and put it in a string. So let's say encoded value, whatever name you want to give it. And how we're going to do that? We will utilize encoding util class. Okay, and it's going to be base 64 encode. And what I'm going to pass, I will pass this blob. I have named it as B, right? B, this is the name. So now I have encoded value. The only thing which we have to add is basic string before this. Okay, basic. Finally, the last step is to add this encoded value over here. So our header is done. Now let's see, it's URL encoded, so it means we have to provide the content type also, set header, and it's going to be content type. And what will be the value? The value will be this application x www dash form dash URL encoded. So in this, we are telling that we are sending data in this particular format. So this is another header which is required. Now the last part is body. So we have to set the body of it. What needs to be passed in the body? Let's see the documentation. So in the body, as you can see, data URL encoded. Whole is the body. It asks for your from number, then it asks for your message or body, whatever it is, and then to. So here we have this one. We are going to utilize and instead of this. And since it's URL encoded, so what we'll do, we will provide this number from here till here. And this number means obviously your number and the Twilio number in encoded version. So let's create our body. I'm going to say body. So I can have to in the starting or I can have from in the starting. It doesn't matter that much. Okay. So let's start as it is the way it is there, from equals to, then we have WhatsApp, then we have colon. After colon, it asks for the number, right? The number which Twilio provides you. You have to get it from here. Okay. Get a Twilio phone number. And see, it has provided me this particular phone number. So I've got my Twilio phone number. I can utilize this one over here to send message from this one. So let's save this number in from number because we're gonna send message from this particular number. Okay, so copy and paste. This is my Twilio number. Now we have to send message to a verified number, right? That will be stored in two number. That's going to be your particular the number which you have verified in recently. Let's say I verified this number. Just an example. Okay. I I could have directly used this from number over here, but since the documentation says it's URL encoded, that's why I cannot do that. And I have to and I have to again utilize this encoding util class. We will say encoding util dot URL encode. So we are encoding our number from number, and in which format we'll say UTF in this format. Okay. Then we'll continue the body with plus equals to, and the body will continue with and. Okay. Now this time I have to provide two number, or let's see what the documentation says. Documentation says body. So let's go with that. So let's type down body and then equals to. Now the body should not be encoded. It should be a normal text, like normal string. So we'll say message, right? And how we're gonna get the message? Let's say we will pass it as a parameter message. And finally, after this one, we'll say body plus equals and again, this time it's going to be to whom we want to send. And it should be same channel, should be same WhatsApp. And again, the same thing. We have to encode the number to which we are sending the message. So copy paste instead of from number, I'm going to say to number. Remember, this to number where you are sending should be a verified number in Twilio. Remember, we saw verified phone number. So if you have If you haven't got it, click on it and then verify and add your phone number. Only then you will receive a message on your WhatsApp. And done. So this is the body which is required, and that's it. Now we can utilize this HTTP to send the request. So what's the name of this HTTP? It's HT. It has a method dot send, and we will pass our request. This one, right? REQ. And where we will get the response means we will get the response if the message was sent successfully or there was some error or anything. We will receive it in this response, right? So res, we have already initialized it, res equals to, and I'm just gonna debug it. So if we have some errors, it is gonna show us if there was an error in sending the message or the message was sent successfully, right? And let's change the method name. It should be send message. Okay, makes more sense. And let's return maybe success A. Just for now, we can return anything, or maybe we're not returning anything at all because our main focus is not utilizing it in LWC and show error message and all that. Our main focus is to actually see if these few lines of code can integrate with Twilio easily. So so almost everything is done from their side. Obviously, you have to change this number, you have to change the account ID for as your account ID from number should be your from number, and to number obviously should be exact one which is verified. Now the last step be in the this link should be added in the remote site setting. Otherwise, Salesforce not gonna allow, it's gonna restrict us. So let's go and go to the setup, search for remote site settings. Here it is. New, we'll say Twilio and paste it. See, we don't have to add this whole URL. We just have to provide the main basic URL and it's gonna work fine. And done. So this part is done. And now we have to call this message or this method from our LWC so we can import it. Okay. Let's try to find it. If we are able to send message, see, it got imported successfully here at the top. Send message Apex from Twilio WhatsApp. This is the class and this is the method. So I have imported it and I'm calling it when the button is clicked. And what do I have to do? I have to pass parameters, right? Parameter name is message. And what will be the value? The value is whatever is inside that particular input. So I can directly put it here. Okay. And then I can say dot then if everything was successful, then the result. If there were some errors, then we have to catch the errors. Okay. So right now we are not doing anything here. Let's say console log as of now for now and say res. Whatever result we are gonna get, we're just gonna show that. And in the error also, if we got any error, so we'll say console.error and let's just show it. Or maybe stringify. So we can see error message better. Okay. So this is a simple method to call, a simple way to call our Apex class method from LWC, right? And we have a basic simple LWC. Let's deploy both of them first. This class, okay, and then obviously I'm gonna change this number to an actual number so we can actually see uh, receiving a message. Now let's deploy this LWC also. Okay, both of them are deployed. Now let's go back to the home page and utilize this LWC over there. I could have done it only using developer console, but I wanted to show it in LWC so it's like a complete front end plus back end. Okay, so we have send WhatsApp message. Here it is. Let me drag and drop and save. Let's go back. Okay, so I have a typo over here. It should be lightning input, not lighting. That as well as we have a typo over here. A was missing from the WhatsApp. So let's deploy and then test it from the UI if you are able to send message or not. For the implementation which we have done, if you get this kind of error, Twilio could not find a channel with the from address. It means in the beginning when we got this number is not connected to WhatsApp. So I don't want to go into the deep. In simple words, what can be the resolution? Instead of using this number as your from address in the code, we use this number in the from number, right? From address where we wanna from where we want to send. We want to send from Twilio. So instead of this, what you can do, you can go to the messaging and try it out and send a WhatsApp message. Click on this one. And here you will see the actual number which you can utilize instead of that phone number. So this is the number which you can use. Okay, let me show you. I'm gonna text exact same join sent to this particular number. Okay, let's send it. I'm gonna say join. I'm typing it in my mobile. Send dash stud send. See, message received. You are now connected. So I sent a message from my number and it received it, and now you can play around with it. Okay, so this is your WhatsApp Twilio number, and the first one obviously is you can send message from here for testing purpose if the integration is working fine, and then you have to implement what we have already implemented. So config mode, refresh. Okay, so hello from Salesforce LWC, right? Send message. And see, I have got it, right? I have got a message from Twilio at runtime. If I want to send another one, because I have my WhatsApp is already open in my laptop, that's why. So let's send another one, another message from Salesforce using Twilio. Twilio. Send, and here it is, another message from Salesforce using Twilio. So it's working fine. So, yep, that's it. It was quick. I wanted to make it keep it short as much as possible. If any confusion, anything issues, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you so much, everyone, and hope to see you all in the next video.